So I wanted to do a video to chronicle my journey as a writer with my book Jon Drake coming out on Sunday. I wanted to go through all the steps I take as a writer to get my book from beginning to end. So let's begin. The first step I take is outlining. Outlining is very important to me. There's going to be a lot of writers that tell you that outlining is not as important as in the creative process. Well, that all depends on if you're a plotter or a pantser. I'm a bit of both. I like to plot, but I also like to add stuff in at the end. I like to have um, a long plot as well as a long character journey. I like to have my characters advanced. I need to know exactly what my characters are like, and I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with each story. So with that said, I like to outline every story I do. After the outline story goes to my next process. My next process is writing the story down. And obviously this sounds self-explanatory, but it's not as simple as it is. Every chapter can take a long time. Some chapters takes me probably maybe a day or two, and other chapters take me a week to complete. It all depends on what I'm going. So you finish that book, you finish the rough draft. The next step I take in the writing process is I self-edit. Self-editing involves taking it through ProWriting Aid and Grammarly. I take it through two editing softwares. Once I self-edit, I hand it over to the next step. Beta readers. Beta readers are important. You need a beta reader because you need somebody to read your story before you go to publication. That way you can figure out if you've missed anything, like a plot hole or if something's just not making sense. And it helps to have another opinion, when you really need it. The next step after beta reading, after I make all the changes from the beta reader, I find an editor. I went with two editors in the last draft for Jon Drake. It helped me a lot, but most of it was self-editing. Editors can cost anything between $50 to $1,000. It all depends on what you're looking for and what you're trying to achieve. I have a bit of a budget of about $500 to $700. That's what I can afford. It all depends on what you can afford and what you're willing to spend. Well, first of all, you have to also have a cover designer. For me, I had a really good friend do a cover design for me, and it didn't cost me much at all. It cost me about $200 I gave her, and she did a wicked cover for Jon Drake. So you need to have a cover ready when you go to publish. And once you do have that cover ready, you go to your publishing and you present your story with your cover art, and then you're ready to go. And once you've edited the book, if you are if you're self-publishing like I am, you go with whatever program you're going to take it through. For Jon Drake, I took it through Ingram Spark, Draft to Digital, and Amazon KDP. For my next book, I'm going to take it through Amazon KDP and Draft to Digital. I do this in order to get my book into several different locations, not just Amazon, so you have many different avenues to read it from. The next step is the hardest step you'll have to take, marketing. Marketing is very difficult in this day and age. You're pretty much competing against everybody. You have to be on it. You have to compete against every writer you could think of. You have to get attention of everyone. You have to tell everyone you know, everyone that wants to hear it, that your book is coming out. In this case, I promote on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are my big four places that I like to promote. There's other avenues, other places I can promote, but those are the big four that I use to promote my book. So you've marketed your book, you've edited your book, you've gotten everything ready. Now it's time to release your book. And when that happens, you have to be on it. You have to keep promoting your book, regardless of if your book is coming out this week, like Jon Drake, available on Sunday, or if your book came out a few months ago, and you want to get more people to read your book, because you always want more people to read your book. And once that happens, then your book it gets around, and word of mouth spreads, and people start talking about your book. And the more people talk about your book, the better publicity you get for your book. And that's the goal, and that is the steps I take as a writer from beginning to end. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content I've given you, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.